Good morning, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here, Fernando Rivera Jr. As I said, good morning. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. I can't say TGIF because I work tomorrow. Anyway, I'm here sitting in a different spot today. I actually like the spot that I've been using the last day or two, maybe three, because the sun is at an angle where it won't affect me or blind the hell out of me or affect the video. And I'm hoping that I just witnessed a police stopping a vehicle up for whatever reason. They're departing now, but I'm hoping they don't come over here because I am in public property, so I'm hoping, if not, either way, it'll be streamed. But anyway, today's subject, heroes. Fake or real versus fake. Now, before I get into the subject of the day, I do have this one video of a senator from Missouri, Eric Schmidt, and it was the confirmation hearing, Pam Bondi, and common sense, factual. I had to post this. You may have seen it, you may have not, but this is a very interesting video, and I think if you haven't seen it before, then I'm hoping that you listen. Watch this.
Thank you.
I do want to say, though, that it appears as though Trump derangement syndrome is alive and well. The focus of these questions today are disturbing. I don't think my Democrat colleagues learned very much from the November 5th election. The American people rejected all this. Their obsession with President Trump didn't bode well for them electorally, and I think if they stay on this path, they'll be in a permanent minority. But that's up to the...
Like I was saying, I have to be a little political, at least a few minutes in the beginning of every video. This is it, though. After this, we'll talk maybe a minute about it. But just listen to what this guy's saying. Everything he says, common sense and facts.
12 electoral votes, Senator.
The landslide. But that's up for them. That's up to them to decide. I do want to comment a little bit, I guess, on this newfound religion on independence from the Attorney General. I will remind my colleagues that the last three Democratic attorneys general for the United States of America were perhaps the most politically biased AGs we've had in modern political history in the United States. And there are some receipts. Eric Holder described himself as Obama's heat shield and wingman. This committee moved forward, and one of my colleagues referenced that the Attorney General shouldn't be the wingman of the president. Eric Holder's bragged about it. He bragged about it. Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton on the tarmac in a private meeting while she was investigating Hillary Clinton. And Merrick Garland probably gets however many gold stars you want to give for the most politicized, weaponized Department of Justice we have ever seen. And I think it's worth exploring that, and I want to get your comment on it. To just sort of take a step back, I think part of leadership is understanding the moment that you're in and the landscape. We've never seen anything like this. And there is a story to be told. The arc of this story begins when Joe Biden gave a speech demonizing half the country, calling them threats to the republic, threats to democracy, these MAGA Republicans, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure President Trump ever gets back into the White House. Miraculously, these zombie cases are resurrected. And let's talk about a couple of those. You've got, of course, Jack Smith, the overzealous and disgraced special prosecutor who time and time again has been slapped down by courts for overcharging and taking an overtly political position. He, by the way, in his postmortem this week, even acknowledged that it was unusual for him to be tasked with going after the political opponent of the President of the United States. It didn't stop him, though. The Supreme Court did, thankfully. But you had Jack Smith take on these unprecedented actions. You had a raid at Mar-a-Lago, staged photos at Mar-a-Lago for boxes of documents, which, by the way, boxes of documents were in Joe Biden's garage from his Senate days. And by the way, somebody who didn't register like you did under FARA, Hunter Biden was staying in. We don't know if he's compromised or not because that investigation was dropped. And give me a break. that justice was meted out fairly for Hunter Biden. It wasn't. The Department of Justice went out of its way in documents to try to get him absolved of all potential crimes in the plea deal. It was only when the judge asked questions that unwound that. And they got back to the gun charge, but then President Biden did the dirty work himself. It was always going to be Plan B. You had Jonathan Su, Biden's deputy White House counsel, coordinated with the DOJ and Jay Bratt on those classified document cases. Matthew Colangelo, who's that? The number 3 guy at DOJ goes to where? Alvin Bragg's office. Alvin Bragg then resurrects a zombie case in lawfare at a local level. Why would the number 3 person go do that? Maybe there was coordination. Maybe there was coordination, by the way, with the number 2 assistant DA in Atlanta in the Fani Willis case, who was meeting with the White House. Why would the White House care about a case in Atlanta? Well, the truth is everybody knows, it was on full display, this was the worst case of lawfare we've ever seen. If this was happening in another country, our State Department will be warning us about it. It's Banana Republic stuff. And one of the reasons why I'm so glad that you have been put up and nominated for this position is that I think you have the ability to level set. So when the Democrats ask you questions about your independence, it is beyond ironic that we're sitting here today because of the lack of independence from Merrick Garland and Eric Holder bragging about being Obama's wingman. So I just want to ask you, you've been asked this a bunch of times, you're going to make decisions, as you always have, right, on the law and let investigations go where they're going to go, but they're not politically motivated, correct?
Yes, Senator, based on the law and the facts that apply.
And in my limited time, I do want to give you an opportunity to talk about some of your experience working with law enforcement as Florida's Attorney General. This is something that, you know, as you and I talked about over the years, you were known for this, the collaboration you had, and I think getting the Department of Justice back to its core function.
Didn't want to play it too long. The important part of that video was played as far as the Banana Republic lawfare against a political opponent of Joe Biden, the rotting bag of oatmeal, who the other day was still playing the same game, talking about oligarchs and all this, all their bullshit and the threat to democracy. It's just, this is why they lost, and they're going to keep losing. Keep doing what you're doing. Anyway, the subject of the day. Heroes, superheroes, real heroes, American heroes, patriots. Being that I'm a comic book guy, I'll get to the fake heroes first. I mentioned before, I'm a Spider-Man, Blade, Daredevil. Now, there are 2 movies coming out. So if you're a movie guy, this subject might interest you. If you like superheroes and all that stuff like I do. But Superman, James Gunn, you know, hopefully he doesn't ruin it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Cavill guy. Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, was the Superman movie for the ages. That was amazing. That movie had me in tears. It was so good. Good story. Russell Crowe played his dad. It was an amazing movie. I like the way they did it in the beginning. If you haven't seen it, it's Man of Steel. But the new Superman movie, I don't know. I saw the trailer. Looks cool. You know, James Gunn got his little 2 cents in his version of it. But let's watch the trailer and see what interest it is. I mean, like I said, it kind of looks cool, but we'll see. I do like how they kind of use the old from Christopher Reeve background music, but update it. It's kind of cool so far.
Home. Take me home.
Superman.
I don't know. There's some coolness to it. But I don't know. I'm not as excited. I'm not that excited, but let's see. I'll still watch it. I'm a big movie guy and I love superhero movies, but I don't know. Henry Cavill, just saying. They ruined that. But it's whatever. If they ruin this on their faces. But anyway, as I say about liberals, because, that's how it is. Oh, and I should have mentioned, welcome to the Common Sense and Random Shit show. Because as I always say, last 4 years have been just that. A shit show. Anyway, back to the subject. I don't know. We'll see. I'll watch it. But, I guess back when it comes out, I'll give you my feedback. But let's see. Another superhero. Captain America. Captain America isn't my top 3, but I do like Captain America. Chris Evans playing Captain America made me a fan. And the movies, I actually liked the 3 Captain America movies better than some Marvel movies. Other Marvel movies, I mean. But I also watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I like that Sam was loyal to Steve Rogers, Captain Rogers, the whole time. And when he gave him the shield in the Endgame, I understood. I don't know. We'll see. I did like the Falcon and Winter Soldier. But the movie that's coming out, let me tell you, the trailer looks amazing. People are talking about it might be woke. I mean, it's Disney, They may be talking it might be a flop. I don't know. I mean, sometimes a trailer does fool people, because I've seen trailers that I'm like, oh my God, I gotta see this. Then when I go watch it, it sucks. But let me play that trailer real quick. And you tell me what the trailer looks like.
You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not. Wait for it. We're on the brink of war.
I can't trust anyone.
Nothing about this feels right.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America caught without his wings.
You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap?
You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
I don't know. That trailer looks good. Hopefully the movie's good. We'll see. But as I said, I want to talk about the fake superheroes, because everybody, it's a fancy thing. We've all liked to be superheroes. We all, at some point or other, male or female, two genders, have thought of being a superhero or wish they were or whatever, and other than being rich or whatever. But it is what it is, as this guy always says. Now, as far as swapping it now, real heroes. Growing up, I always wanted to be in the military, police officer, whatever, unsung heroes, police officers, sheriffs. But there was one name that I remember growing up and in high school, and a couple of my buddies went into the military. One of them, he's retired now, I believe. His name is Arthur King. Imagine that, King Arthur. And he's one of my best friends. He's a retired naval officer now. Big change, he went in like this skinny and then he came out bigger than me. But very good and friend of mine, our family, very good friend of my mother's. He treats my mother like his mother and she like his son. But true heroes, this one name, any veteran, any special operator, any military personnel, maybe not the young individuals, but I'll show you. I put something together. 2 real life heroes, real superheroes that any military person should try to live their life as a hero, or if they're in the military, whatever. These 2 individuals, history. Let me show you this real quick. This is what I call real heroes.
Have you ever heard of a Marine so fearless that his name became legendary? Meet Louis Burwell Chesty Puller, the most decorated Marine in American history. Chesty wasn't just a soldier, he was a symbol of courage. Born in 1898, he grew up listening to stories of war heroes and decided he'd be one too. Joining the Marines, he quickly proved his bravery during battles in places like Haiti, Nicaragua, and the Pacific in World War II. Chesty led his men with a mix of toughness and loyalty, earning not 1 but 5 Navy Crosses, the second highest military award in the U.S. His most famous moment came during the Korean War at the Battle of Chosin Reservoir. Surrounded by enemy troops, Chesty didn't panic. He famously said, "They're on our left, right, front, and rear. They can't get away now." His words inspired his men to fight their way to safety. Chesty's name lives on as a Marine Corps legend, proving that true leadership means standing tall, no matter how tough the battle.
Imagine this. It's 1966, Vietnam War. Meet Staff Sergeant Roy Benavidez, a Green Beret who becomes a legend for his unbelievable heroism in a single day. On May 2nd, 1968, Roy receives a desperate call for help. A 12-man Special Forces team is trapped behind enemy lines. Without hesitation, he jumps into a helicopter and heads into the fight, armed with only a knife. Despite being severely wounded multiple times by bullets, shrapnel, and bayonets, Roy fights for 6 hours, rescuing his comrades, recovering classified documents, and holding off enemy forces. By the end of the battle, he saved 8 lives. For his extraordinary bravery, Roy Benavidez is awarded the Medal of Honor. His story is a testament to the power of courage and selflessness. Remember Roy Benavidez, the soldier who refused to quit.
See that last part? He was pronounced dead until he spit in the face of a doctor who was zipping him up in a body bag. That is sick. That is a real life hero. When I was, like I said, in high school, it just, you know, I wanted to be in the military. You know, I wanted to be either a Green Beret or something. But, you know, I made stupid decisions and that ruined my life, you know. But when I was first arrested and I was convicted, or I pled guilty to the crime as youthful offender, I was told that I could still go into the military. So I said, yeah, I'll do it, you know, and I did 30 days, got out, and literally I didn't have my diploma, so I went and got my GED. And I tried to be, you know, in the military, and then I was told I couldn't. But that, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of mistakes I've made in my life. But real superheroes, that's what I call real patriots who put country and others before them. Now, one more hero who puts country before self, before finances. And it's a moment that I'll never forget, a moment most of you won't forget. Not a superhero, but a patriot. And it's a moment we'll never forget. It's a moment that helped what's going on now, what's going to happen to this country, save this country. One individual. We all know who that is. We voted him in, people. That right there, that moment. That moment right there. Not a superhero, but a real patriot. That man put country before self. Not a superhero, but a patriot. And starting Monday, shit's about to turn around. You know, I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? As I said, this is going to be basically two different things. Today, I'm not the clown as I usually am, because it is what it is. But there is one hero that I have, and every person should have. And you know who that is? I'll tell you right now. This guy. I'll tell you, he may not think he is. My father, when I speak to him here and there, you know, he lives up north still in New Britain, Connecticut. You know, he's, you know, I was a bad father. You know, the mistakes you guys made is all my fault. But, you know, I got to tell you something. Mistakes I made were my own. My brother, same thing. My sister, whatever mistakes we made were our own. My dad had us believing in Santa till we were 11, 12. Till one night we caught him coming up at 3 o'clock in the morning. We just happened to be up with bags full of presents. We caught him. So, you know, he never told us there was no Santa. We just caught him. Worked 2 jobs. You know, he wasn't the perfect father. What father can say they are? But my father loved us, showed us respect, and tried his best. Whatever mistakes we made, Dad, we made them. My father had a car accident. You know, he had a drinking problem when he was younger, and someone died. And it was probably the biggest regret in his life until this day. This has happened over 20, 30 years ago. Till this day, I know it still bothers my father. And but in that accident, my father was told he was never going to walk in. It was a pretty bad accident. And I watched my father carry himself down the stairs, up the stairs, you know, getting on the cars to fix cars, still do some work to make money so we don't die of hunger. I'm over exaggerating, but so we had an okay life still. My father, against all odds, still walked. Made himself walk. He forced himself to walk. And did everything he could to make sure that we were okay. You know, granted, you know, I grew up loving superheroes. I grew up watching, you know, as I said, Roy Benavidez. I knew about him at a young age. And I've always, it's inspiration, you know. That's one of the reasons I want to go to the military. But watching my father battle the battles he's battled in his life to make sure that his family was okay, that's a hero. A good father should be a hero to their kids. Good father. Not all fathers are good. Not all fathers are perfect. But, you know, I just wanted to say, I love my dad. I'll probably talk to him today or tomorrow. He is not in the best of health. He's always saying, my father's a funny guy. He's always saying, you know, every time I see the doctor, I tell him I'm bad, I'm this, I'm that. Because the day that I tell him I'm good, that's the day I'm gone. And he says it jokingly, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of funny when he says it. And the thing with my father is, once he gets rolling and he sees you laughing, he just continues on. And I mean, I've had people tell me, yo, your father should be a comedian. So some of my comedy, some of my sense of humor, I get it from my dad. You know, everybody says it. You know, even people that don't talk to him, your father's a funny guy. But that's my hero, my dad. You know, so love you, Dad. And Mom, I ain't forget about you. One day I'll talk about you too. I love you too, Mom, because she was a badass too. We'll talk about some incidents that happened in my past because of my mom. That's some badass parents. Love you guys. But anyway, just wanted to get those 2 cents in today. I haven't talked to my dad in a week or two. As I said, my dad has a lot of medical issues, and every day he thinks it's his last. But my father's a fighter. That's one thing I can say. You know, people always said about, you know, my dad, it's your father's not going anywhere. He's a fighter. He's pretty much the middle finger to everything, and welcomes life as it is. But anyway, enough of that. I don't want to get emotional, but it is what it is. Please, guys, please subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. Follow me on Rumble. Hope you liked my video. As I said, just wanted to make a half-hour show. Didn't want to overdo it. I could talk about this stuff all day. We'll see about those movies. You know, I'm looking forward to watching Captain America: Brave New World. Superman, not so much. Henry Cavill was the shit. But I don't know. I hope we won't be let down. I hope James Gunn doesn't ruin it. Hope this woke bullshit isn't in anything, because that'll just ruin it for me. And again, you know, real patriotism, real heroism comes from those who put everything else ahead of themselves. I won't say there's a couple of incidents in my past that I've done some heroic stuff when I was younger, but I'm not talking about me right now. Please subscribe, follow, share. There are some links in the description. If you want to help support the channel, please do so. Anything's appreciated. You know, hopefully this channel can do better stuff. As I said before, this is like a late night show, just early in the morning. I'm not going to be all about politics, but since I am conservative, I'm going to get into some politics, you know, especially all the common sense stuff, 2 genders. Just saying, common sense. And again, enjoy the rest of your day. As I always say, stay true to the red, white, and blue. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Rumble if you're conservative. Don't have Rumble, download it. Great app to have. Run by conservatives, owned by conservatives. And look for me on Facebook. You already know Facebook, PC, because, you know, shit. Anyway, thanks. Guys, have an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. on PC Books, YouTube, and Rumble. Take care, guys.